Welcome to the Cherry Picker, the horror movie podcast where we like to kill people, but not really. I'm your host, Zach Cherry, and with me as always is.
Tim from Tim McKay Beauty.
And today we are talking about Faces of Death, released April 10th, 2026. This is a new release and it is a reboot of the Faces of Death franchise that started in 1978, the original.
Yes.
Um, the only thing that I've ever known about Faces of Death was that it was referenced in Scream 2 when Joel says that he came here for an interview, not Faces of Death 14.
Oh, good call. I
Yeah.
I don't even remember that reference.
Yeah. And then
Wow.
Gail's like, "Don't F with me."
Yeah, I had
Yeah.
never don't F with me. No, I had never heard of this movie, the original, and I know the original is like obviously much different. It's not like it's just videotapes, right? I think.
So it's almost like from my understanding, it's an anthology sort of thing. Like there's a kind of a narrator and like every segment it just sort of jumps back to him and he's like talking about like this or that. And then like they'll show these
Oh.
clips and they're like supposedly were like very realistic seeming that it's just like, people always speculated like is this real? It's kind of like a snuff film concept. And it went on to have there wasn't actually 14 Faces of Death, but there were quite a few. And so let's see, like there's at least six official ones, and actually maybe seven as late as 1999. And then this one is kind of like it's a reboot that's very meta in the sense that it's like Faces of Death exists within this movie. Maybe
Yes.
almost like New Nightmare, but not supernatural.
Yeah, yeah, because I know like some people were saying that those original tapes were real. Some people were saying that they're not real at all. Some people were saying that some of it's real. Like the monkey thing looked really real to me.
Hmm.
That one probably grossed me out the most.
Yeah.
Just the concept of doing that. But yeah. But I
Have
did
you
love
have you
the
s- have you seen it, or you're just
no.
based on
I
like what was shown in this movie?
just what was shown in this movie. So I didn't
Yeah.
know if the footage in this movie was like refilmed or if it was actual footage from the 1978 movie.
Right. Yeah. So there was like seven official and then this one, but apparently there was like so many more unofficial ones that like, people weren't sure like, is this actually part of this franchise or they just went ahead and made their own Faces of Death movies.
Yeah.
But the original, at least I'm assuming that this is not adjusted for inflation based on Wikipedia, but the budget was 67,000. It went on to make 35 million, and I don't like that's box office. I don't know if they're incorporating home media sales because that's kind of where this movie really found its footing was in the home video market. And it was one of those things that was banned, like as is like talked about in this movie, where it's just like not like the video nasties or whatever, but it was like actually a thing that like you'd have to like search really far and wide to find. Like it was almost like a black market item.
I mean, to each his own, but I don't know what enjoyment you get out of that.
Yeah.
Like, I guess the possibility that it could be real, but why? Like, why? That's just so gross. And like,
Yeah.
Craig is saying that there were some real killings of animals being skinned and stuff that had to be real. That's so gross. I mean, I don't know. It's an
But I mean
animal.
that's a thing. It's just like people have like fetishes and whatnot. So like something like this, and
Yeah.
especially if there's like it's that mentality that it's like if you almost like reverse psychology. If we're told like we can't watch this or we can't have it, we're gonna go and we're gonna find it.
Yes,
Yeah.
that's like that movie, the cannibal movie. I did the exact same thing with that movie because I was
Hmm.
like, I heard it's like supposed to be so terrible and gross. What is that movie from the 70s, right?
Cannibal
Holocaust?
Holocaust? Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. That's the exact
Yeah.
same reason I went out and searched for that movie.
Okay, interesting. Well, this one, I mean, it's been out for just over 2 weeks now, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Or, well, it came out 10 days ago, 11 days ago. But the budget was 7.4 million. It has so far just made 2 million. which is,
Really?
yeah, which is it's very depressing because this is really good.
Bummer.
I enjoyed this one quite a bit. I think that like so far for 2026, this is my favorite horror movie experience. And I know that it was shelved for a while. Like I think that it was made in 2023, or at least that's when filming was
Wow.
complete. So it was supposed to come out in 2024, which is why like in the movie you see like certain like the calendars like 2024 or when she's like puts the file like 2024.
Uh-huh.
So I think they just had a really hard time finding a distributor and there was like a lot of like I would hear things about like the movie wasn't very good or people weren't saying it was very good and that was like why I didn't really have a lot of interest in it. But it came out in like like it was one of those. It wasn't like very polarizing. I think just because so many people haven't seen it, but like I don't tend to trust opinion on online. Like I mean, least of all Rotten Tomatoes, but even like anyone, even if like some of my best friends were like, you should check out this movie. I am like, it's probably shit. But I don't know. There's something about this that just like the things that people were saying that it intrigued me. So I'm glad that I checked it out. I know that it's had a very limited run and a lot of people haven't been able to see it just yet. So hopefully it'll, come out on streaming or on demand very soon.
Yeah, it was very limited here in New York City as well. It was because I always go to the same theater right down the street,
Mm.
and I was not able to go to that one, so I had to take two subways to get to it. And yeah, but I mean, I'm glad I did. Oh, and it was the theater that has the uncomfortable chairs. It was like
God, don't
terrible.
you hate that?
I know. I'm like, God,
Yeah.
I'm going to, it was cold. I'm like, so I'm sitting in a rickety old chair. It's freezing and I'm far
Yeah.
from home. No, but
I,
yeah,
yeah.
but
No, I'm
I did
I'm
like it.
I'm getting kind of like spoiled. I've been going to the VIP like 18 plus theater a lot lately where
Yeah,
you just like there's the full
fancy.
recliners. There's no children or high
Yeah.
schoolers. It's not even the children, it's the high schoolers that like come in and they're just
Oh,
run amok.
God.
But the
Everything's funny. Everything is funny when you're in high
or
school.
everything or we need to like constantly be talking during
Yeah.
the movie. But no, they'll serve like full menu service like they before the show comes in like the like a server comes over and they'll take your order and there's like the little
Hmm.
trays that come out as
Yeah.
well and they'll bring
And
you like
there's a
your
button you can
popcorn and your
press, and like if you need them, they're like, oh, press the button,
is
and they'll
there a
come right on
button?
over. Well, I'm thinking about iPick Theater or Alamo
Yeah.
Draft House we have here. But iPick, yeah, there's a button right in the center. You press it, and they'll come right on over, like you're on an airplane or something.
Oh, that's very interesting.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know that there's like, because I know that there's the button for like the recliner, but there's other buttons. So maybe I hope that maybe they just disabled it because I was pushing all of them and no one was coming over. Yeah,
I mean, they could be helping someone else, or maybe they're just ignoring it. But
maybe. Yeah. But no, it's like it's very bougie. Like it's almost like, rather like you go in at the entryway and rather than like a ticket holder thing, it's more of like the maitre d, and they're just like just right this way.
ooh.
And there's only four screens at this one, but so they'll like pick the whatever like the bigger movies are. And this one unfortunately didn't show up in that theater, but that's where I'm, you know, going more often than just like the shabby rickety seats where all the high school students go after school and
Mm-hmm.
you know,
Shit all over the place.
yeah.
Yeah. I then the theater I saw it in last night only had four, because I went and saw it again yesterday, so I would remember stuff.
Oh.
And yeah, there was only rows A, B, C, D. It was just so, and row D where I was like two seats, and then like a big empty section for handicap seating, and then two seats. And some
Mm,
girl came and sat next to me, and I was like, God, of course, like in the little two seats. And so I was just like, I felt very intimate because I was just with this random girl.
mm.
But yeah, so uh very small theater, and so whoever I was in the theater with last night was like obsessed, like howling at every single joke or every situation, like everything was like ha, like everything. I was like, whoa, really into it, huh?
Yeah.
Felt like I was like seeing improv and like they knew each other or something, but
Mm. Well, I'm glad that you went and saw it again because I only saw it the one
Yes.
time. So I'm gonna be leaning on you a lot
Yes, I
probably.
even and well, and to the girl next to me, I was like, "Well, I'm taking notes during this because my second time seeing it." So I had like my phone, the brightness all the way on like low, but I
Yeah,
was like, "I have to take notes. I have to remember
yeah,
where the process of this movie goes."
yeah.
But
Did
yeah,
you tell her that? Like you're just like, just so you
no,
know, I'm gonna.
no,
Mm,
actually, and I like and I kept my phone like away from. I didn't want to bother her. I actually
yeah,
wouldn't want to do that. So I was like trying to be very discreet with it.
yeah.
Um, and she was enjoying herself. She had like giggles
She didn't
galore
even she
going
didn't
on.
even notice. Yeah,
Didn't even notice. I was like,
yeah.
"Good for you, girl." Giggles.
How have you been doing otherwise?
I am doing good. Thank you for asking.
Yeah,
Yeah, no, I've just been trying to keep busy with work and stuff. Always seeing movies, always watching movies and stuff.
yeah,
So, how about you over
yeah.
there and up in Canada?
Oh, same. That's actually I went through, I mean, like other than like work and trying to catch up and like, finishing writing the feature script for Macabre with Eric. But I've just been enjoying just like, other than my reality shows, I'll like pop in a movie. So I was
Mm-hmm.
revisiting all of the Dark Castle remakes. I
Ah,
I kind
yes.
of like I've reassessed my opinion on like I still really love them, but I kind of like House of Wax has grown on me a lot. So that one I'm kind of like I favor more than the House on Haunted Hill and 13 Ghosts.
Mm.
What else did I watch? Oh, we were actually talking about this before because you had just watched the remake of When a
When
Stranger
the Stranger
Calls, and
Calls?
I just
Yes.
watched that like last week as well. And I'd never seen it, and it's terrible.
You had never seen it ever before?
Never.
Oh, I didn't know that. Oh my God.
Oh,
Well, I thought maybe you were part of like the whole promotion when it came out. Like I remember like it had a website and there was a number you could text and it was a big deal because then like an AI at the time would just reply to you and like it was like, ooh, so cool.
in
Um
2006, 20 years ago now.
yeah, yeah. And so you would text
Yeah,
it with your T9 word and you get a text
yeah.
back that was like, boo, I don't even know what it
Do
said.
you remember when? Because this wasn't too long ago, but like hashtags were such a huge thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, what
Like a few
happened?
years
Like
ago,
they
like
just
like
they
10
just
years ago.
disappeared. Well, I mean, like maybe even like less than that. But it was just like at some point, like people just started to realize, well, like hashtags don't really do anything, so we're just gonna stop. But
I
you would
know.
see like movies and like the marketing, they'd be like hashtag this or one thing was like especially like because I love Survivor. I mean, not so much anymore, but you'd have like the episodes, and then at the bottom they would something like crazy would be happening, and they would just make up this random hashtag and put it on like the
Yes.
overlay at the bottom. Like you're gonna, if you go on Twitter, like hashtag like coconut bandits,
Yeah.
and that is like a whole thing apparently. But yeah, you just don't see hashtags anymore.
I remember when I worked at Mac Cosmetics, it was like 2014, 2015, like all that time, like when social
Yeah,
media started getting popular, Instagram started getting popular. So then they like started making mandatory things where like we would have to do like a makeup look on ourselves and like post it and then do like hashtag Mac your best look. I don't know, something so stupid, but it was like, and I'm like,
yeah,
I don't think that's like, it's not cool when you like make us post. I don't know. It was just so
yeah,
embarrassing. I remember like I didn't do it and I just pretended that I didn't, I don't know.
yeah.
I didn't know about it.
It's okay. Well, like, speaking of social media, and just like to bring it around to this movie again, um, it's almost like this feels dated in a way because I mean, this was made in 2023, but just
Hmm.
sort of like there's not really any sort of mention of AI in any of this, and
Mm,
it just feels like if this came out today just like 3 years later, I should say, if like it was made today, um, one of the conversations in the movie would be like, well, no, this has to be AI, right? But that's not
oh,
even a
of
thing. So it
course.
just goes to show like how far we like like we're talking about like when you can like call into these automated things and then we go to hashtag and now like social media has like gotten to a point where like AI is everywhere and like meta AI and stuff like that and
And yeah.
we're already this movie is just like far beyond or behind that, so it's interesting. I wanted to ask you that of just like your opinion, like did you notice that or did it change the experience at all?
Well, it's funny because when we first see our protagonist Margot, she's holding a flip phone, a Razor flip phone. So I
Hmm.
actually thought the movie was going to be set in 2006 or 2005 or
Same.
whatever. I was
Ugh.
like, "Oh, that's where we are. Okay, cool." And then we find out like the next scene that she's just traumatized and wants to be off of social media and be away offline, if
Yeah.
you will. So
Yeah.
she has the Razor flip phone. But no, actually I hadn't even thought about that. And I guess it's because like yeah, you're right. Like every movie now has to at least reference AI because like especially when she's watching videos, her boss would say that could be AI for all we know. Like that would
Hmm.
be the first thing he would say. So I mean it was kind of nice to not hear about AI for 1 second. You know what I think about? It's almost like how when Caller ID came out and then like in horror
Hmm.
movies, like, I think even in Scream, what Scream was it? Maybe one of the Screams. Like, well, did you check your caller ID? Like, it's like they had to mention it because it was like a new
Yeah.
thing, so they had to at least reference it. Like, well, does your phone have caller ID on it? Okay, like I don't know. They had to like
Yeah.
bring it
I think the
up.
line is like, because it's in three, it's just like, do you have it stored in your memory? And Dewey's like, it's like
Oh
phone
yes,
memory.
yeah, exactly. And it's
Yeah.
because like technology was becoming so it's like just in case
Yeah.
someone in the audience doesn't really know what we're talking about, we have to like
Yeah.
let them know.
Honestly, like there's
Oh.
going to be movies that rely on technology, and the sad thing is that like there are always going to be these time capsule movies, and very much of the time that they came out in. And I think that it is important to tell those stories, but I always prefer movies to have like a timeless feel to them and like not sort of like delve too much into, whatever's the trend or this and that. And I feel
Mm.
that for the most part, this does like even for 2023, it's not that it feels dated, but there is like like we have like the Reddit threads, and I think that's an issue that I'll get to more later. But
Hmm.
it's like some of the technology doesn't really look very like up to date for what it is, like even if this is 2023. So there is sort of like this, quality to it where it's just like when in time would this be set? Because you did mention the flip phone, and that was something that confused me too. But beyond that, there's quite a bit in it that does feel like it's almost like contradictory. Just like, when could this
Hmm.
be? There's so many like confusing timeline threads.
And I did think about it again when you're right, like the TikTok dance that the girls are doing, like
Hmm.
the and not even the one that like she's traumatized about, but like the popular girl, Sam, the influencer,
Yeah.
she like is doing it at the pool. I'm like, that feels like something that would be done like 2022 or like 2023. Like I feel like right now no one's doing TikTok dances
Are they not
anymore.
doing that? What do they do on TikTok now?
I don't have TikTok, so I really don't know. Oh, I do. I have one, but I never go on it. But I feel like I don't know. Do people still do like choreographed dances with each other? I
I
feel like that
would
was
think
such a.
so. Like
I feel like
that's
that was such a thing of like a few years ago. I mean, how many times can we do that? Like, how long are you guys gonna do that for? Where like it's just two girls like let's do the same thing with each other. Are people still doing that? I
I'm
don't know.
pretty sure. I mean, like my like I mean, I'm not on TikTok. I think I have an account, but I don't ever go on it, and I don't
That's
have
like
any
me.
content on
Yeah.
it. But
Hmm.
I'm like the like every regular millennial where I'm on Instagram and I'll see the TikTok videos posted like several months later.
Yeah.
And I mean, mostly I think that like the algorithm ha knows what to show me. Like right now, I've become very obsessed with The Sopranos. I need to revisit that series. So it's like showing me a lot of Sopranos clips and things like that, and people talking about The Sopranos. So I don't really get like TikTok Macarena, whatever thing is
Hmm.
going on there, but I'm sure that I've seen stuff. Like they have to still be doing that. Someone
It
help.
feels like 2023
Yeah.
to me. That's what my point is, though. I feel like I
Yeah.
saw it all the time back then when this movie was
Yeah.
made.
I mean, in the chat, in the comments, like, let us know. Like, we're grandpas over here. We have no idea what the kids are
Yeah.
doing these
I think
days.
it's so true. It's like TikTok is just too fast for me. Like I need it to slow down. Like I don't like to go from video to video to video. Like I like YouTube because I like to just like put on a nice video. And
Yeah.
even if I want to watch, even if it's like I'm not doing anything else, like I like to just relax a little. But like not enough for a full-length movie. So I'm like not Gen X, but like I'm like, sometimes I want to be
Yeah.
like right in the middle. I'm millennial where I want to watch a YouTube video and then
Greg is saying TikTok has a lot of people showing you how they get dressed and do their makeup.
Yes, and like a
Yeah.
day in the life. I just feel like, I mean, I don't even want to say too much because I don't want to make anyone mad, but like, I just couldn't imagine recording myself doing everything all day. Like I just you have to have that built in you to like to do that, I think. I don't know.
Yeah. Are you familiar with clavicular and like that whole okay, so he's another one that like somehow like I watched one video and then it just like they all kept coming and I'm just like been
Yes.
obsessed and watching it.
Hmm.
So he's this influencer who is I promise we're gonna start talking about the movie, but I feel like this is like Faces of Death adjacent. But he's this influencer. It's this like 20-year-old kid from Miami, and his whole brand is something called looks maxing. So
Oh,
it's like the
yes.
idea of like, yeah, just like making yourself like physically like the best version. And he is like does things like he takes a hammer and like hits his face, which I mean like makes his like cheekbones like swell and things like that. But he's like
Hmm.
everywhere right now, and it's just that's just constantly what I will be seeing on my feed, and it's just like it's just one of those like whatever the latest thing is, like like the Hawktua girl, but he live streams like every waking moment. Like there's been times where he's just like been awake for 48 hours and his parents like call him and they're just like, you need to go to bed.
Mm.
But yeah, he actually OD'd
Oh,
like last week, and then like went to the hospital, but then like he came back the next day and he's like, okay, I'm not going to be doing this anymore and I'm not going to be like taking drugs or anything. And then like literally the next day he was like back at the club and just like doing it all over again. So
another club,
um
another club, another club.
yeah, so just like this like the whole idea of like live streaming, and it always makes me think of like Scream 4 and just like where you had like with
Robbie.
Robbie of just like
Hmm.
the whole thing like everyone's going to be doing it someday, and it's
You're
like
so so right.
it's that movie has just become more and more relevant with every year that goes by.
Yes. And
um
Jill's whole motive is TikTok.
yeah,
Like,
yeah, and there's
and
actually there's a lot of correlations between Scream 4 and Faces of Death 2026, I find.
hmm, yes,
Yeah. Well, just like in terms of like
yes,
the creating the content, and like just sort of like what the killer in this movie's plot is, versus like what Jill and Charlie, at least like we're trying to do with like, everyone wants to see it now, and like you have to make these
yeah,
videos.
yes.
But
He does. He gets addicted to the attention, which is very easy to do on social media. The dopamine hits.
Sam is saying if you ever mention clavicular again, I am leaving this chat and will never come back. Okay. Um, let's get to the typical housekeeping here. So,
Let's do
hey,
it.
if you have been watching or listening to the Cherry Picker for a while, or if you're brand new to the Cherry Picker, thank you so much for being here and making this your preferred horror movie podcast, because there's probably a lot of them, and I don't know if we're the best, I don't know if we're the worst, but you're here and we appreciate that. Very weird thing for me to say. If you would
Indeed.
like to, yeah, I just say weird
All
things
good.
though.
Love it.
Yeah, yeah.
All good.
Of course we're the best. Like, what are you talking
Mhm,
about?
mhm.
If you'd like to participate more in the podcast or give back a little bit, you can head over to my Patreon at patreon.com/ZackCherry, Cherry, I believe is how it's spelled. And if you are supporting at the Freddy Krueger tier, you'll get to join us in the live stream that we do every Monday when we record these episodes. So hello to everyone. If you're watching, you can see the chat in the middle here. Um, but also, a fun thing that you get to do is nominate and vote for the last episode that we do every month. So that poll has already gone up, and we have a winner. So next week we are going to be talking about the movie Fear that
Woo!
came out in 1996, I believe, starring Mark Wahlberg and Reese Witherspoon. This was nominated by Phil Woobold. So thank you very much. That is going to be what we're talking about next week. But just know that if you are a supporter on Patreon at the Freddy Krueger tier or higher, you will get to possibly dictate to us what we're going to be talking about. So that's a very fun perk. Other perks include but are not limited to monthly video hangouts with yours truly. There's also monthly reviews, shout outs. What else am I forgetting? You,
Phone calls or video calls
yeah,
that
I
you
said that.
do?
Yeah,
Oh, you did. Sorry.
yeah, that's okay.
I'm like la 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 la. Um, just being involved in the fam. Sorry, I clearly didn't hear what you've already
It's
said.
okay.
So
I didn't
yeah.
mean to put you on the spot.
No, on the
My
spot, I
bad.
go blank and I can't think of anything.
Yeah, but yeah, we do have the shout out. So I would like to thank very muchly right now, firstly, the Michael Myers tier. So thank you to Kyle Beard, Sam Levy, Ali Hamouche, Shane Allingham, the lovely Tim McKay, who's right
Me.
by my side here. We've got Horror Slut 95, Austin Hall, Final Girl, Gemma, Cara Day. Michael Boswell, Def Con, Michelle Hughes, and then thank you very much to the Ghostface tier, Eric Champney, Daniel Saturn, Stephanie Starbright, Baby Ghoul, Garrison Nichols, Craig Lynn, and Josh Burrow. So thank you very much, everyone, really. But also, Craig is reminding me in the chat, early access. There's also early access.
Early
That's a perk
access.
to early access. But even if you're just, want to join as a free member, I mean, you won't get a lot, but there are polls that you can still take part in, like the cherry picker poll every week. So if you want an
Mhm.
extra vote, head over there. And maybe at some point when you're feeling like it, you can upgrade and become a full member. But other than that, I think we can start getting more in depth here. So do you have a premise?
I do.
Yes.
In the digital age, seeing isn't just believing, it's surviving. Margot, a young woman tasked with scrubbing the internet's darkest corners as a content moderator, becomes obsessed with a series of viral videos that mirror the infamous 1978 Faces of Death. Believing the grisly footage to be more than just clever practical effects, she is lured into a deadly game of cat and mouse with a sadistic mastermind. As the line between digital horror and physical reality dissolves, Margot must fight to stay alive in a world that would rather watch her die for the clicks. In this modern reimagining of the cult classic, the ultimate face of death is the one looking back at you from the screen.
Very
Huh?
good. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Um, Seeing it twice, did it hold up for you?
Seeing it twice, I love Dacre, Dacre
Dacre.
Montgomery,
Dacre.
Dacre, Dacre.
I always
I
thought it was
love
Daiquiri.
him.
Yeah.
I think he is even better the second time. Margot, a little crunchy. I think she was okay. I think the actress playing Margot Barbie, I think she was a little crunchy, a little like I'm gonna give it my all. Um, and sometimes it just felt like it was coming across a little too acty, like a little too I'm acting. But I think she did a great job for like I think this might have been her first movie. I know she was on Euphoria before,
Okay.
but I think this was like her first like leading movie. So I think she did a good job. And
Yeah.
I one thing this is silly, but I kind of appreciated like sure she was a lesbian. She had a gay roommate, but like it wasn't about that. It was kind of just refreshing to see the gay characters that like it wasn't talked about a super lot. I don't know.
Was she was lesbian?
Yeah, and it was brought up in the beginning that like she was lesbian.
Oh,
Um,
I do not remember that at all. So I
well,
guess,
and it wasn't
hey,
like her whole character wasn't like being a lesbian, which is like,
yeah.
to
Okay.
just I just thought it was like cool that like they included gay and lesbian characters
Yeah.
without like it being
Well,
like they're dying because they're gay and lesbian, you know?
I appreciate her because like she's sort of like this against type final girl. Like she's, clearly like, heavier set, like this would be she's more so like the character that is going to like try to crawl through the garage door in Scary Movie sort of thing. So let's just like
Yes.
we're now flipping that script and like she is the one that survives. So
Yes.
I don't know. I mean, I wasn't. noticing any sort of crunch. I appreciated her performance. I think that like everyone in this like did a really good job. But yes, I do agree that D D Dacre was absolutely the standout, and I mostly know him from Stranger Things. He played
Mm.
the the brother,
Was he
Max's
Billy?
brother. I think
Was his name
so.
Billy, or is that I get him confused with the similar looking guy from the next season?
Yeah. No, I think you're right, Billy.
Billy.
Um, but yeah, he was also in that Christmas movie, that Better Watch Out. He was the like the ex-boyfriend of like the main character girl.
That's right.
So he showed up in that. He was also in Power Rangers, the movie, which I've never seen, like the
Mm-mm.
the the updated one with Naomi
No.
Scott. Um, yeah, he's just like he's been in a bunch of stuff, but he hasn't really like he's a really good actor, but he just hasn't gotten to that point yet where like people are starting to recognize like they know him from things, but like I think that he should have a much bigger career. Like he deserves a much bigger
I
career.
can see him blowing up. I can see him
Yeah.
being like a Leonardo DiCaprio. Like I
Hmm.
can see him like taking on roles that Leonardo DiCaprio would do. And like he has such a range. I don't know why I'm like giggling right now. Like I have a crush on him.
You're just
I'm
all over it.
like, I'm
Well, I
like
mean
God.
like
But no, he's just so good. Like,
yeah.
I loved how he talked so nerdy, and I thought that that was his character, like that voice that he was putting on.
Yeah.
And then for him to switch like so quickly, I just thought he
Hmm.
was so good. So good.
Yeah. Also, this is not like a whodunit murder mystery. Like it's very clear, like
Mm-hmm.
from the get-go, like who the killer is, and like it's him. So this we're obviously going to be spoiling the movie and all of this. That's probably something we should have mentioned earlier. But like we don't cover
True.
a lot of new releases, so we're not always the best with sort of like going over like, hey, this is what we're gonna do,
But
and
I would
like,
hope that if someone
yeah,
sees a 2 hour video about Faces of Death, they're gonna know
yeah.
that they're probably not gonna be spoiler free the whole time.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Well, I guess we could have, no, we still could have warned them. I'm sorry. You know. Ooh.
But I mean, we're reviewing, like it's to be expected. But
Yeah, and
yeah,
he's playing the killer. That's fine.
like he has a very like his eyes, like he just has like very striking and intense eyes, and I feel like actors who have eyes like that, like it just like it almost like enhances their performance. Actually, one that I love who does this, and Eric just got to meet her, is Rebecca De Mornay, from like
Ooh,
Hand
who's
That
that?
Rocks the Cradle, because she is like one of those actors who
Oh yeah.
like there's like a warmth to her, like just like internally, but like the eyes are like ice cold, and it's just like it's almost like this contradiction of just like you can be like everything that you can be saying is like really soothing and just like all like good things and blah blah blah, but like in the eyes it's just like I'm gonna fucking kill you,
Yeah.
and that's like he's gorgeous,
Hmm.
as is Rebecca, and it's just like it's all about the eyes.
You know who I think of when you say this is the actor. He was on Desperate Housewives. He has those piercing blue eyes. He has like white hair. He always talks like this.
White
He's a very
hair.
like Desperate Housewives. I think he dated Edie husband or he was
Oh, the
Dave Williams.
yeah, the actor's name, Neil
Neil,
McDonough.
yes, Neil
Yeah.
McDonough. I can't try to see it here, but yeah,
Yes.
he
Yeah.
has that like where he can like he looks like such a handsome, nice guy, and but his eyes are like, I'm gonna murder you tonight,
Hmm.
and no one
Yeah.
will ever find you.
Yeah. Yeah. People like if that is your look, like get into acting. Like you're gonna make really good actors. So
Yeah.
yeah, Dacre, absolutely. Like I mean, not to show our hand in like any sort of cherry on top, but I think he's a pretty good contender
Contender
uh,
for the
at
top.
at this point. But yeah, this is definitely like I want to buy this movie when it comes out, and I think that like one thing that I really appreciated about it is that there's some really good cinematography going on here, because like this could have been just
Mm.
like a basic, like, yeah, let's just shoot our coverage. Let's do like, everything that we're, typically supposed to do. But there's one in particular shot where he's abducting her. So like when he comes in and he kills the roommate and he abducts her, and it's just one continuous shot that starts with her coming out of the bathroom and she's like goes into her bedroom and she just gets into bed and is putting on her music and the camera drifts out the window, lowers down to the street and just like sort of pans over as his car is pulling up. He gets out, the camera follows him into the building, all the way up the stairs, and then like down the hallway. And when he gets to the door, it like the camera goes through the wall at that point, and then I think that there had to have been some cuts. Like there were moments, like maybe in like darker parts of like I know once they were inside of the apartment, like it went down a hallway and it was really dark. But this like probably went on for I want to say like at least 2 to 3 minutes of this whole scene, and I believe it was just all one continuous shot of like the everything and like the like him whenever he like subdued her. So it's
Is
just
that when
stuff
he
like
kills the
that.
roommate as well?
I don't know if he killed the roommate at that point, but he
Yeah,
like uh
before
stuck
the
him with a
third act.
needle or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Um but it's just like I love like creative stuff like that, and it always makes me think of Tenebrae, one of my favorites from Argento, because there's this whole scene that's just it's should not be in the movie, but it's like this uh crane shot that just goes over this, like it goes out a window. It doesn't even go out the window. It like starts at a window and then it goes up over like into another window out and then over the roof and comes back down the other side while the music plays. And it's just such a useless, like it's just there to be like, look at the technology now.
Mm-hmm.
Which I guess it's like sort of like that scene walked, so things like this could run 40 plus years later. But I love it because it's all like contextual with Faces of Death. I love it because it's all contextual with what the story is and what's happening here. So like just for moments like that, it just really elevates the material because, like I said, this could have just been a run-of-the-mill sort of like remake reboot thing, and yeah,
Yeah, this movie had stakes.
it's thing.
Um, no, and there was also a shot that was very reminiscent of The Exorcist. Do you know what shot I'm talking about?
I
It's
know which
when
one you're talking about.
it
Yeah,
was very beautiful, it was lit well, and she even pulls up in a taxi cab. And it's like, yeah, it's at the end when she wants to go confront her demon, this
Taker. Yeah.
guy. Yeah.
What's his name? What's the character's name? You guys are
Arthur. It's
Arthur.
Arthur in the
Yeah.
movie, yes. And I love his character. I think he was
Yeah.
so conniving and smart. The only thing I thought was kind of dumb was when like and I don't know, like, we don't have to jump so far ahead, but like just when like she comes back with the police and when like he's like, no, no, this is like, she's been crazy, blah blah blah. Because I'm like, why would she go back if she's like that distraught? And like, I don't know. I feel like that part just kind of pulled me out a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, like towards
Um
the end, there's
and they weren't
some
believing
issues with,
her and she's like
yeah.
yelling and they're just like, no man, like man, back up. Like that was all annoying me. I'm like, she's
Hmm.
clearly needs help, like she's clearly not crazy.
That
um
was the only part of the movie that kind of, because I think that it's really well paced
mhm.
for the most part. I don't think it's a terribly long movie. How long is it?
It's
Do
an
you
hour and
know?
a half, an hour and 38 minutes.
Okay, so that's not too bad at all. Like that's
Hmm.
perfect actually. But it's one of those things where it's just like there's a lot of stuff that could have been cut. Uh, for instance, we see a lot of her kind of like just looking online at things. Like she's on Reddit so
A
many times. Like
lot.
there's just so many scenes of just like looking at threads and looking at that. And I think that they could have like condensed that or just like kind of like broken it down into a thing where it wasn't like we didn't have to keep jumping back and forth. There was one moment where she does it because that's sort of like how he tracks her IP address and
Hmm.
figures out like who it is that's
Which is cool when he did
yeah.
it. When he did that, I was like,
Yeah.
oh,
And it
that's my
doesn't it
smart
like doesn't it
man.
do like a split screen, almost like a Brian De Palma thing when that was
I
happening
think
too? Or
so. It's
my
like
yeah.
showing her what she's doing at the same time that he's like finding her so easily.
Yeah.
And like
So
tricking her. He's baiting her.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that I loved. But just like the random scenes of like her investigating, it's like, okay, we don't need to see this so many times. Like this is just filler. So that probably could have been trimmed down. And then the part that you're talking about where she comes back with the police, it almost felt like it kind of stalled the pacing because like she was there, she was in the belly of the beast because she had been abducted by him, and then she escapes, and then she comes back with the police, and then that doesn't go well, and then she's taken to the hospital, and then it's
Mm-hmm.
just like, okay, so now she's gonna go back again for a third time. Whereas like
Yeah.
I wish that it just sort of like it had stayed at the house and she never left or anything, and they just like I feel like all that stuff with like the police and the hospital, you could have cut it out and just like because everything this is a very tense movie. Like I found that like the
Hmm.
suspense was working. I think that this is better than like any of the last three Scream movies. Because like, in my opinion, yeah, that might be a hot take, but
Ooh.
I mean, I especially find like because like Wes Craven is the master of suspense. Like that, like he had that title. Like that's what people refer to him as. So with like the newer Scream movies, it just felt like they were just going through the motions. Like I don't feel the suspense with a lot of the things. Like especially in five and seven. With six, like I feel like there was more of an attempt to with like some of like the set pieces in that movie, but ultimately I
Mhm.
still find them they're kind of flat. But in this, like I was like my heart was palpitating because they're just like they do it so effectively that it's just like it feel like there's stakes. You're right. Like it just like it's very dire in the situation. And that's why like I liked that she's there and she's trying to escape. So when they like have her escape, it's like, okay, now we're okay. I don't feel like the tension anymore, but then she comes back. But they're able to like bring back the tension when she does. So like I just imagine like it would have been even better if they just sort of like allowed that to like hold it there and just stay in this environment for as long as possible without breaking up the action by going to the police or going to the hospital. And that could have been like
Yeah.
a really wild finale.
Yeah. I agree. I do. And I think, yeah, I think it's because she had to come back so many times. And I also just didn't understand why he dressed her in that outfit. Because like there's a part where like she finds drawings, like a whole plan book that he has, and he even has like a sketch of like Margot's outfit. And it's like this like blue blouse that she's wearing and like khaki pants. And it's just so funny because I'm like, why would he change her into that? Like why did like and
Mm.
it's like and it wasn't like there was any video that they were recreating. It wasn't like he was matching her to look like someone else or anything like that. So I just didn't understand why he had to change her into this blue blouse
I
and
didn't
why it
even
was
realize
so,
that wasn't hers.
yeah, no, it was like, and
Yeah.
then because when she's looking at like, she's like, oh my God, she's like looking through all his like documents upstairs. It was like, it has her, and then it shows like, Margot's outfit, and it's like a drawing, like all sketched of like what of her in this blue blouse and like khakis. I'm like, why was
Mm.
that so specific? But basically, I know, like, and we didn't really mention this, but Margot is like, yeah, she has trauma this whole movie because I guess a couple years prior, her sister died because they were dancing on the train tracks, and
Well, they show it, and she's
yes.
watching it on her flip phone. And
Yeah,
that's the thing because it's yeah they're doing a TikTok thing and the train is coming and they're like okay it's time to jump off and the sister slips at the last second and
and
falls
gets like run
backwards onto
over,
the rail and the train like just like
demolishes
splats
her.
yeah
So like the whole movie, everyone recognizes this girl. That's like the running gag of this movie is
yeah
like, hey, aren't you the girl from that video? And like at the beginning, we're
hmm
like, what video? And then we find out. Um,
yeah
which is traumatic, but like I was even like seeing this the second time, I was like, wait, was she wearing that blue blouse when that happened? Like I don't get why like he put her in this damn
mm,
blue blouse.
yeah
It was a
no
very unflattering blouse.
I'd say, yeah, the movie's really interesting, like just the way that it withholds some of the information and just like sort of like the discoveries that we make along the
I
way.
appreciate that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. And
I
very
like that.
reminiscent of, like just like even in like the original Scream of just sort of like knowing that Sydney has this thing from her past and not like just sort of being breadcrumbed what that is throughout the first half
Mhm.
of the movie. Like, you don't have to give us everything at once. Like sometimes it's fun to sort of go on this journey and learn things slowly. So that, yeah, I did appreciate a lot as well.
And then this company she works for is called Kino. And is Kino supposed to be like Instagram, you think? Or like a
It's
Facebook?
it's definitely like I figured it was more like a TikTok kind of thing
Oh
because it
yeah.
was just like all like these videos. So her job is essentially to moderate it and like they'll like be shown these videos and they have to like, actually like say like, okay, well, this is questionable or whatever, like this is, we have to delete this or ban it from being
Hmm.
seen or block it or whatever. So that's where like she first notices the videos that Arthur is uploading, and she like questions her superior about it. She's just like, is this real? Like this looks real. Which is where I would say like the AI thing would come in, and they just be like, no, it's
Yes.
probably AI sort of thing. And he's like, no, the production values are just like, they're just a little too high. Like this is not real. It's like, just let it go for now. Like I think it'll be fine. And then she just starts getting more and more of these videos, they pop up. So that's where she just sort
And
of
she recognizes the mannequins are the same in each one. That's how she's able to tell. Because at
well,
first,
the narration, like the style, like everything is just very consistent.
yeah, yes, because it doesn't he just take the narration from the original movie and put it over his own footage?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen the original, but actually it's funny that we mentioned that because Craig is asking in the chat, would the two of you watch the original Faces of Death?
I probably won't, but I will maybe like search like was the footage in this movie of the real footage of Faces of Death, or was this like recreated footage of that footage?
I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't want to say because I don't know for sure, but I've seen like footage on YouTube of it. I
Mhm.
don't know if I would like, I would watch it if it was like on or something. Like I don't know. Like I don't think that I would buy it or want to look for it because it just doesn't really sound like it's in my wheelhouse.
Yeah.
I think what this movie is and what they're doing here, like this is way more clever. Like this is narrative
Narrative, that's the word.
film. So yeah, like I much prefer this, which is why I'm interested. Like I hope that whenever the physical media comes out, that there is like a commentary or just like features, because I want to hear more about the process of this and
Mhm.
understand that. So yeah,
I do like that the killer he's going after narcissists, which is like a really cool clever take, I think, for a killer. Like he obviously kills for no reason. Like he's obviously just a guy who enjoys killing to kill. So
yeah,
that's an interesting take. Because that kind of makes this like a murderer that much scarier when there's really no reason, they're just enjoying it. And then
yeah,
they when someone knows that they're a murderer and that they're a killer and that they are just doing it to kill. And like he has like contact lenses he puts in and like the mask and everything. I think
yeah,
it's really cool, but I think like there's such a maliciousness to him. So I agree with what you were saying that this movie felt tense because he felt tense. Like he felt like when
yeah.
he was in costume, he could do anything. And I love the sequence of Sam, the influencer girl, in the locker room, and that felt very tense. And just like
It was
how he's kind of
scary. Yeah,
yeah, like he was playing games with her. Like he had his phone taped to the wall of like just so that she could listen to how stupid she sounded. Like he had a video of her talking, and it was like her being like, guys, I can't even go outside anymore because when I go outside like, now everyone just recognizes me and I'm just so famous. And I'm like, you sound so narcissistic, and there are just so many people like that nowadays online. Like I can't stand like we all want to like fucking like take out no not really, but like
hmm.
yeah, so he's
Oh my
literally
God, I was
going after that.
recognized. Yeah.
Yeah, and she's like, I'm
Hmm.
just like, and talking about it, like, oh, it's just getting to be too much. I'm just like, everyone's recognizing, and it's just like, shut the f up. And like, and then you see
Yeah.
her in the real world, and she's just a normal person, and like,
Hmm.
no one really cares that she's there. She's in college, no one's stopping her. Her friend stops her. That's it, and they make a cool
Yeah.
video together. So
Yeah.
and then the anchor is his second victim, and he is also a narcissist in his own way because I'm sure he's a great guy, but he watches his own news coverage not to see if there's any updates in the case, but just to see like, let's see how I sounded, and he just wants to hear himself talk. So he was another narcissist. So I think that
Is
that's
that
really,
narcissistic behavior?
yeah, like you're
Yeah.
literally just on there to like, how do I sound?
So
How do I come across in this situation? Not,
so I shouldn't listen back to like any videos or things that I do because that'll
well,
make me
no,
a
that's helpful. I think that there's a difference in like watching yourself back for like to improve or like because you just really love to hear yourself speak and like you want to hear yourself speak.
or maybe you're just interested in what you were talking about, sort of thing.
Maybe,
I don't
but
think
I
that
don't
there
know
was
if he was.
anything.
I just feel like
Yeah.
that's a theme of this killer. Like everyone that he was going after was someone that
Yeah.
was in the spotlight that was kind of
I actually
narcissistic.
felt bad for the victim. Like I don't I mean there might have been like narcissistic tendencies, but I think that they did a really good job of like humanizing the
Well,
characters
narcissists aren't
that
monsters. They're still human beings, like of course.
yeah, but that's the thing. It's just like we'll see a lot of movies where it's just like it's easy to just sort of discount like whatever the victims are because it's just like okay, well, whatever, they were like a douchebag. But
Yeah.
I feel that the characters were dimensionalized in a certain way. Like I actually felt bad for Sammy at the end, and it was hilarious when he's giving her advice because she's running away because like at the point later
Mm-hmm.
where Barbie or sorry Margot escapes and she's able to get Sammy out of there but not the son of the news anchor. So she has to leave him behind and be like, "We're gonna come back for you." And like Sammy's freaking out. She like breaks the window and she just starts running on her own. And that's where he gets like the rifle and he's just like outside and he's like zigzag Sammy. So it's because he's like shooting at her.
Zigzag.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And then he gets her and she's still alive. Um, and like Margot's not able to come, but the whole point that Margot goes back there for is to like rescue the two of them, and it's just like he's already like murdered them and like has like fashioned them into like those mannequins at the
Mm-hmm.
end there. So I don't know, it just like it felt again, you're right, like this movie had stakes and these
Mm-hmm.
characters that are just like when they're initially presented like they're just sort of like well whatever like
Well, they're
uh
three-dimensional. I think you're right.
yeah.
I think that I'm not saying that they're just like asshole narcissists. Like they're not like the jock that like the personality-less jock that's just like I mean,
Hmm.
I like that like sure, like she came across extremely irritated, the girl Sam, irritating. And then like when she's kidnapped, you do feel bad for her. She's like a human being. She's like suddenly all
Hmm.
that stuff doesn't matter anymore. And even that anchor guy, like he has a son and you kind of feel
Yeah.
bad because you're like, "Oh God, now the son's involved." Um and yeah.
Well, it's
What?
just yeah, it's different like when you compare it to, more of like stuff like I Know What You Did Last Summer 2025 or like the
Oh yeah.
newer Scream movies
Vapid.
where like yeah, characters just exist to just be like they are very one note and it's just like well I don't care what
Mhm.
happens to them and it becomes more of like oh how are they gonna like die in unique or interesting ways. So I think that it's always more effective if you have that terror and it's more of like I don't need to see like gruesome sort of deaths. And like
Mhm.
this movie has that for sure. Like especially like when we see the roommate when it's finally revealed like he's basically just like chopped up in that container
Yeah.
and he's pouring like the acid on top of it. Um, so I don't necessarily need to see gross stuff like that. Like I'm all for inventive and interesting kills and all that, but like I want to have like a some sort of like empathetic connection to these characters so I can like feel their absence when they're gone or just like whatever that loss is or whatever is like the motivation for the main character to want to go back and save them because like if I hated these people these like quote unquote narcissists that were in the thing like in his place I'd be like Margot, who cares? Just like you're fine. Just like go live your life. Just like don't worry about these people. But just like it actually makes sense that she would
Mhm.
go back. Like it just like I think that the writing of this movie is pretty good.
Yeah.
Pretty good.
No, I thought so too. I liked that he had a like the bookshelf that kind of it kind of reminded me of Scream 7 with Sydney's house just because he had like the secret room. He had the secret well it wasn't like a panic room, but he had the bookshelf that opens up and that's where he keeps his
Yeah.
victims down in the basement. And
Almost more like Scream 3.
yes, true.
Yeah.
Yes, the bookshelf. And I thought it was cool because he works for a company called Signaler. It's a phone company, and so that's how he finds his victims. Well, that's how he
Yeah.
finds Sam anyway, is by just like finding their address right on his company
Yeah.
website.
No, there's definitely like it felt very Dextery with him. Like I
Hmm.
could see like him being like one of Dexter's victims of just being
Yeah.
like, oh, this guy who's like works at this phone store and this is how he
Hmm.
finds his victims. It's like, well, Arthur, you're gonna be the victim now.
Yeah. And I like that
Um,
like when I think it was the shot that you were talking about, like when he's walking up to the apartment, like you see him like mentally getting ready to attack. Like he's like, oh, like
yeah,
he's like, like he's like psyching himself up to like do this. And I'm like,
yeah,
wow, I just love it. It was
yeah.
very good, entertaining
It's
to
so
see that
good.
aspect
Yeah.
of it.
Charlie XCX is in this for like two scenes.
Yeah.
That I know that like she was really kind of like heavily put into like any sort of like marketing or press about this
Hmm.
movie. It just like turned out to be like really like nothing. Like she essentially she's a coworker of Margot's, who first we see like she's on the roof like just having a cigarette break, and
Well, it's marijuana. She's like, don't
oh, is
worry,
she
there's
having,
no
yeah,
nicotine. She's like, there's
yeah.
no nicotine, don't worry.
Thank you. Yeah. See, this is why I'm leaning on you more. I didn't just fart. That was
Yeah.
this
Well, no, you remembered a whole
tube
one
of,
shot, like a whole that whole shot. I'm surprised you reminded it.
yeah,
Remembered
no,
it.
no, it's just that farting sound was not me. It was this tube of
Oh no,
hand
I think it
lotion.
was
Sorry, I wanted
you.
to say. I think I would admit that. But no, I did remember the one shot, but like for all these other things, like I need to lean on you to to have that. So yeah, she's up there. She's having her marijuana break, and I guess she's just like, "Are you gonna finish that sandwich or whatever?" Like Margot's lunch is, and just like grabs it out of her. Like she is a biatch. And then the next time we see her
Yeah.
is when she's watching the videos with her friends, like at the locker, and has that like little spat with her.
No, it was so weird because she's fully like laughing hysterically, and then like
Yeah,
Margot's like, "What are you guys watching?" And it's like that video, and it turns around, it's like the monkey getting its like head ripped open, or maybe it's the guy actually. It's the guy with
yeah.
his like getting it, which is like even less, not less funny. They're both not funny, but like I just think it's one thing to be like, "Wow, this is weird," but she's like, "Ha ha 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 ha," ha," like going crazy, and like I'm just
Hmm.
like, "Okay, it's that funny, you psycho."
Yeah.
So no, she's just a weird character to play.
Yeah. Craig is saying, I actually think back in the day, the original VHS was in the porn section of the video store. I don't know if it was rated X, but I do believe it was there with porn. I remember like the
Hmm.
old days where video stores would have like the back sections and things like that. And it
Hmm.
was always like, oh, like I wonder if I can like sneak back here and just take a gander. Um,
I remember like peeking in once and feeling
yeah.
so dirty and wrong. Like, oh, I
And it's
can't be in
always, and
here.
it was like either like a curtain or like beads or something, just like,
Yes, a
something.
blanket,
Yeah.
something to separate it. Yeah.
And it was like, and it was always like, there's actually like a red light back there. It wasn't like normal lighting.
Or it was green. Yeah, it was definitely some kind
Yeah,
of like weird lighting.
something colorful. I always think of like The Howling with Dee Wallace, like at the beginning when she's like goes into that store or that the shop or
Mm.
whatever, and then goes into the back section. Um, but yeah, video stores were wild for
I
that.
always think of don't not don't tell mom. What's the other one?
Don't tell mom the
Serial
babysitter's
serial
dead.
serial mom. I think of
Yeah,
serial mom with Matthew Lillard. He works at
yeah.
the video store there. I always think of that
Oh,
movie.
okay. Interesting. I haven't seen that in a while. I
That's
should check it
such a
out
good
again.
movie. Oh
Yeah.
my God, I love that movie. I
Pussy
love it so
Willows.
much.
Yeah. Um, okay, so there's this whole thing. Okay, because I was kind of confused by like I guess her workplace. There's like the security guard and like the thing that they have to walk through, like the
Mm,
metal detector, whatever that
that
whole thing
was
is. Like
weird.
she has to take her boots off every time. Like I don't know what this company is or why they have to do any of that. But there's this lipstick knife that's sort of like introduced. I think her roommate gave it to her, right?
Yes.
And it's used so many times, like it just like it's
Mm-hmm.
overused because like the first time she uses it, she puts it in her boot. And I wasn't sure like what she was using it for because like I don't remember that being relevant in the office at
No. So
all.
seeing it a second time, I think that was a flash drive she was putting in her boot. I think she like because then she takes it out so she could download the files onto it, and then she,
Okay.
yeah, because she doesn't use the knife. Like I think
Yeah.
that's what she does. I think she sneaks a flash drive into work so that she can like download the files onto it and take it home with her, and then she uploads it onto her home computer.
But they were showing like I'm pretty sure that it showed her like taking the lipstick knife and putting it in the boot. So
You
maybe
do
I'm
see
just
her put, I know, but I
yeah.
remember like you see her. I remember her seeing her put something in that boot, but then like the next scene, she's at work and she's like
Yeah.
putting stuff on a flash drive. So I'm like, and she doesn't use that lipstick knife.
I think that there are some shots that are very confusing in this because like the when she does escape, because he shoots at her, and I guess like it this was not clear to me, but he shoots at her and it hits the flash drive, like the thing that she steals from his house that would
Hmm.
implicate him. And when she's running away and like finally gets to a place of safety, she just sort of has this moment like she looks at the flash drive and she's just like, shit. But it's not clear that it's destroyed.
She's
So
like,
when
no,
she's
no, no, no.
yeah, I'm just like, well, what is the problem here? But then she goes back because like her whole thing is that she's saying that she's hidden the flash drive in a safe place, and that's sort of like her bargaining chip. So
Hmm.
yeah, like there were some things that like could have been clearer in like how they were visualized, but the lipstick knife, like that was something that like every time that came up, it was like clearly shown, and they because first she used it to escape
Hmm.
when she first got abducted, and then she came back and then she used it again to
Yes.
stab him. And I just feel like with things like that, it's just like it almost like it takes the piss out of it, like the second time when it's like, all right, we've already used that. Like, like
Yeah.
find a new device that's going to like, keep it fresh.
And especially if you think about it, like she's in the clothes that he put on her. So
Hmm.
she left and then she came back. And did he really think that she brought a red lipstick with her? That she was like, you know what? I'm gonna bring a red lipstick just in case I decide to put this on. I'm in this like outfit I was kidnapped in. I'm gonna bring a red lipstick. And then
Yeah.
he even touches it. He's like, oh. And then he like rubs his finger on it. It's
Hmm.
plastic. So I don't get why he didn't realize that. He's like he goes along with it. He's like, gotta look your best. And I'm like, this isn't working. That was the only part that I was like, this isn't
Was it
working.
a
I was like,
plastic? Wasn't it like an actual like lipstick talk though?
but like, wouldn't that mush in your hands every time you take the lipstick out? Like every time you,
Probably. But
yeah, which
didn't he rub it on his finger and it had
he
like
no, but he rubbed his finger, but I don't think you see any lipstick on his finger because I don't know how that would be possible.
why
Um,
would you rub a lipstick on your finger?
yeah, and then he was like, gotta look your best. I just didn't believe that part. I was like,
Yeah.
well, it's clearly like, why wouldn't he just chuck it on the ground? Why would he like give it back to her? Okay, you can
Yeah.
keep that actually.
I don't know.
That was the only silly part I thought.
I
I
don't
just don't like
know.
when things seem
Terrible.
too.
Half a star, letterbox.
No,
Mm.
no, but I mean, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
Because I just felt like there were parts where her acting was a little crunchy, and I guess that maybe that was one of them. She's like, it's just lipstick. Like, I don't know, it just didn't feel real. And then
Yeah.
another part where it felt crunchy was when she bought tickets for her boss because she wants to um download these files on from her boss's computer, like all these video files when no one's at the office. So
Hmm.
she's like, "Hey, I got you these tickets." And we never find out. I don't really know what the tickets are. It's like she randomly had money to buy these tickets that were probably expensive for her
Yeah.
boss, and
For
it's
some
like,
like
oh, they're.
show that or
And then he's like,
sports
yeah,
thing.
and it was tonight. Like, it was that night. So like that's
Yeah.
a huge risk she's taking, and she's gonna blow all this money. And she's like, yeah, I just wanted to, say thank you for taking a chance on me. And it just felt very fake. Like it just felt very like crunchy. Like it just felt very,
Well, I mean, you also
yeah.
like you have to consider that like the performance there is her character acting. Her
It didn't seem
character is the one.
believable
Yeah.
either way. I'd be like, this is weird. I don't know.
Well,
Crunch, crunch.
I don't know.
I felt
I know
crunch.
you have like more issues with actors than I do, but I had no problem with her. What I did think was interesting about that whole scenario scenario. How do you say it?
Scenario,
Scenario. I don't
scenario,
know why I said
scenario.
scenario is that she doesn't get caught doing this. But what ends up, because what happens is she gets fired because she's, I guess, like what she had in like that little plastic baggie was speed
Like
or
Adderall.
something, or like, yeah.
Mhm.
And the whole time I thought it was like candy because it was like, it looked like just like
Oh,
pop
so
rocks or
innocent.
something.
So
Yeah.
innocent.
So
Oh,
innocent.
I knew it was Adderall immediately. I was like, she's addicted to
Yeah.
Adderall, which
I just
why?
thought that she liked eating candy or something. But yeah, because like we saw, but like
Is it because she's plus size?
she left that no, we've seen a lot of like movies where just like characters like eat candy and stuff like that. Like wasn't like Abigail, like Melissa Barrera, like she kept like having like little like Tootsie Pops and things like
Mm,
that. Um, but she leaves the Adderall behind and then that ends up like she gets fired for that.
yes.
Um, and that's sort of
Yeah.
like the way that that all ends with her. So it's just, I guess it was just interesting that it wasn't like the reason that like you are getting fired. It's always like something like completely unexpected.
That was. It wasn't like
Yeah.
you went through my computer, you downloaded these files, and then like
Hmm.
it's kind of funny because he's like, I hope you remember that you signed a an NDA, but then she goes home and immediately uploads the files. And like they're
Yeah.
gonna know where those files came from. Um,
Well, I mean, in the service of like trying to find a serial killer, I think that was the intention. So who knows? I mean, where the law would go? Like that's very interesting if they're just like, well, yeah, you did breach your contract and et cetera and so forth, but then like a judge might be, but like like you helped you know catch a serial killer or stop a serial killer and et cetera and so forth. So I think that there might be some leniency there.
there might be. You're
Yeah.
absolutely right.
I guess you'd have to try it to find out.
Um,
If you know of any serial killers and you want to go there, don't.
exactly.
Stay safe. Don't put yourself in danger.
But I did like her acting a lot when she's like at the end and she's just unleashing on the killer and she's like stabbing him
Hmm.
and she's going crazy and she's like she's had it at that point she's at her breaking point she's like ah and she's stabbing him. I felt so much more in that moment than I felt in either Scream 5 or 6 like you said. Like when Sam does the same thing basically to the killers in both
Mm,
of those movies. Like I just felt like 6 felt like they were doing it again because it worked out so well from Scream 5 and people really
yeah.
liked that moment in Scream 5 so let's do it again. But in Scream 5, yeah, I thought it was cool, but like I didn't feel like the true as much rage as I felt in this from
Yeah.
Margot. So I
And
will give
no,
her that.
that's very fair. I mean, a lot of that has to come from like the intensity and the suspense. And I didn't mind it in five. I actually think that it's one of those fun moments. And I think just like especially like when you juxtapose it to like where Final Girls were, like look at Halloween 1978 with Jamie Lee Curtis, just like, well, I don't think I need this knife anymore. Let me just throw it on the ground next to the
Yeah.
seemingly dead killer twice.
Mm,
So I think for Sam in Scream 5, it's nice that just like, okay, I'm just gonna kill you until you're dead. Because there's so many things. I watched something the other night, and it was just like it was frustrating because it's like the the final girl will get like the upper hand on her assailant, and it's like clearly like they've been incapacitated for long enough period of time that it's just like you can do more now, like you can now like pick up a thing and like drop it on their head, like make sure
yeah.
that they're like knocked out completely, and they don't. It's just like you have the opportunity and you keep running. So that's something that I do appreciate about Sam in Scream 5, that it's just like I'm gonna make sure that this is that like you're dead.
Yeah.
That it just it did, not that it felt realistic to me, but it felt earned. In Scream 6, I think that it was just a betrayal of her character and just like the arc that was like set forth, just in terms of like where it started with her in therapy and just being like there's this darkness that I've been trying to get away from and et cetera and so forth. And then like it felt more of like a gag, like this is not who we are, and then out walks Jenna Ortega. And it's just like, well, you did mess with us, so you gotta die. It's like it was all for like this sort of like punchline, and then at the end, there's no
Well, even
consequences, and
Ethan Embry,
yeah,
the way she stabbed him a million times, and like
Ethan Embry or Ethan the son. Ethan
Ethan the
Embry is the
son.
one from Seven. Yeah,
Yes, not
me.
yeah. Ethan, yeah, me,
Yeah, me.
me,
Wah, wah,
immediately shot.
wah. Yeah.
No, but Ethan the son, like the way she stabbed him like 100 times, like that, I felt like was a direct callback from Scream 5. Like,
Yeah.
watch me stab him a million times.
Yeah.
Then, yeah. But
Uh,
anyways,
Craig is
um,
asking, doesn't Jamie Lee now claim that she dropped the knife in Halloween so many times because she saw the blood on the knife and that killed her friends? I don't know. Does Jamie Lee Curtis remember Halloween? Like the
right.
not filming it, but just like the plot of it? I always question that.
I
I've never heard her say that, but it's possible she has.
don't know.
Yeah.
Um, I don't know if this is a trope or not, but I one thing I did notice and I wish they didn't do is like I don't like when the killer is afraid of blood. I feel like I've seen that in something else before too, but I don't know what it is. Like where it's like,
Is Arthur was afraid of blood?
yeah, he was like really, really afraid of blood, and I know that that's how he kind of like gets foiled at the end because he knocks into the Sam and the kid that are tied up as mannequins, and he gets blood on him, and he's like he starts screaming, he's like, oh my God, and like freaking out, and I feel
Yeah.
like I've seen that in something else where I'm like the killer was also afraid of blood, and
Maybe
it's
he's
supposed to be
just
like
a
their
neat
weakness,
freak. Yeah.
but I just like don't like that. I'm like if you're gonna be a sick psychopath that saws people up and cuts them up, you can't be afraid of touching a little blood.
Yeah. I don't, maybe it was more so just like the fact that he had like ruined his display.
Well, no, because earlier, he gets blood on him on his shoe a little bit, and then he it cuts to him immediately scrubbing his nails, like he's grossed out, like he's like he's like, yeah.
It was
So
just
he
a
has like a blood.
character detail. Yeah, he's just very OCD, clean freak.
Yeah, I think
Hmm.
blood specifically. I'm just saying.
Maybe
Um,
I'll have to watch it again. I haven't had the luxury of seeing it
yeah,
twice.
definitely check it out again, or unless you're
Yeah,
gonna wait until it comes to physical.
I'll wait till it comes to physical.
Yeah.
Let's get physical, physical. I wanna get physical.
And I like the killer's look. I wish his mask was a little bit longer, maybe, on his face, but I did like the look of the killer too. That was really
I
cool.
mean, I liked the red contact lens and stuff. The
Yes.
mask just like was just like what because he had like a sock on his head or like a pantyhose sort of
Yeah.
situation, and then the mask over top of it, but you could still see like the contacts
Which I think was
through.
cool. If the mask was a
Yeah,
little bigger to fit his full face, the mask was a little small in his face. That was the only
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
And I saw one reviewer say that like they actually were wrong. They were saying that the contacts, like he didn't have them on the whole movie, but I feel like every time he had the mask on, I saw the contacts. So I thought that was a nice little touch.
Yeah, well, I mean,
And
he
I
definitely didn't
hated.
have them on the whole movie.
Well, of course, yeah, but I liked
Yeah.
that when he was using the rifle, like you said, for Sam, like he had to take out the contact, like he had to
Mm,
pinch it out so he could see. That was a nice little
yeah.
touch.
Yeah. No, he and I wonder if like that was the director or it was Dacre himself just being
Mm.
like because he just seems like one of those actors that just like he's so cognizant of like every single detail that is going to be implemented in what this character does.
Yeah. I
Hmm.
was wondering, so when he actually there's like the whole part where he tricks the anchor by like cutting his own hand in his car, and then he comes out and then he like I was like, "Oh, cut myself," and the anchor lets him in for a bandage. And and that was just such a smart scene, but I was also wondering what was he gonna tell the anchor guy if the guy was like, "How'd you cut your hand?" I was almost like wondering like if he was gonna ask him that like for a moment of tension, but he
Hmm.
never ended up asking him
Well,
that.
wouldn't he be scared of his own blood, and or is it other people's blood that he's
I think it
afraid
was
of?
other people's blood, other
Oh,
people's blood.
it's
You know,
impure.
but I'm just like, because like who cuts their hand like that with like the palm? So like
Yeah,
he's like, "Oh, I cut my hand." It's like, and I would have been like, "How'd you cut it like that?"
yeah, yeah.
Uh, but that was a good scene.
Interesting.
He
I
just
think there
and
was
he
just sort of like the awkwardness of it because there's just like it was just a very awkward interaction.
and he gets the
That
house keys and he's able to come back later.
and it
Yeah.
why would this narcissist ask how he cut his hand? He's not interested in that. He's just more so like, can you leave
Narcissists aren't
so
like
I can watch
villains.
my
Narcissists are just
you're
people who like pretend to care about other people, but they really care more about themselves.
Tim right now you're like, I'm a narcissist. Don't villainize me.
No, it's just because like, even the way he's like, let's see how I like. Yeah, I don't know.
Yeah.
I know a narcissist when I see one.
Yeah.
Um, and plus, I just think that's a cool aspect for a killer. Like he's going after who he thinks is
Yeah.
deserving of being killed.
Yeah.
Not
Yeah,
that
I'm
I
trying
agree
to
with
think
it,
of
but
like what are the reasons for, like the targets of the killers in like the new Scream movies.
yeah, like why
I can't even
kill?
remember. Yeah.
Like I was thinking about the girl that was in the Peter Pan show, and
Oh,
like
McKenna.
was that
Yeah.
just to like take friends away from Tatum? Like why would
Well, I guess because like they were trying to make it like because they wanted to make her Sydney 2.0. So it's like we're gonna kill her friends as
Oh
well,
yes,
sort of
just like
thing.
Sydney's. Yeah.
And that's not as interesting to me because it's like I always like when there's some sort of like I like it the most when there's like a personal motivation.
Hmm.
But even then it's like a, a motivation that just feels like it's more so rooted in an actual cause rather than just sort of like, well, you just have the unfortunate luck of being friends with this person and I mean not every like the kid who was like operating the rigging system like he was just randomly there like
Cannon
wrong place
fodder.
wrong time so
Yeah.
I don't know. I agree that it's more like with a movie like Faces of Death here, where there's actually a reason. It's just like, yeah,
Hmm.
I'm gonna target you because that's like something that Arthur would do. Like when we first meet him, he's kind of like he's just scrolling and like finding people to target.
Yeah.
Like it's part of his process. And
Yeah.
I think like that's the reason why for him, like when he discovers who Margot is, that it's just like, oh, like this is great. Like it just works out because like this is you used to do this. You used to make these ridiculous dance videos and you're kind of like an internet sensation because like all the people like they're not just narcissists but they're like famous in to varying degrees.
Getting
Obviously
attention. Yeah.
Sammy's just like she can't go out anymore because like people recognize her like that Starbucks employee knew my name.
Hmm.
um and like the anchor just like being like like a local celebrity and stuff because like when we first see him when Arthur's stalking him in the parking lot of the grocery store, that guy comes up to him and he's just like, can I get a picture with you? And he's like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah,
sure,
exactly.
yeah.
So I think it's
Hmm.
just people he perceives like that maybe have it all figured out and are
Yeah,
like
I mean, I think
enjoying the spotlight too
it might
much.
even just be more so a fact that it's just like he wants to find people who have an audience because then he can sort of like piggyback off of their audience because it's like, oh, this person. Now let me show you that like I'm going to like kill them in this gruesome particular faces of death way, and people are already going to
Interesting.
be familiar with them. So it's sort of like it's his way of sort of like leeching off of other people's fan bases and like
That's
getting
smart.
them, yeah, to his own. So I don't know if he's
To
like necessarily like narcissist, like I'm gonna target you.
I think he was, me personally. I think he was
Yeah,
going through and like, whoever stood out to him and was too cocky in a way. I think
yeah,
that's who he targeted. That's just how I saw it. But and I didn't even think that he was really interested in the fame aspect or the attention until he noticed that he was getting so many likes and like comments and stuff. And I
he's
think
just
that
like
that like
holding up
opened
the
his eyes to it.
camera. And we
Yeah,
just see like
and
the thumbs going
yeah, like
wild.
I think it was a
Yeah.
little bit of a progression for him where he was like, "Whoa, I actually do like this attention. I didn't realize it." And then at the end, she realizes that she likes the attention. Margot realizes she actually likes the attention. So it's like anyone. That's the whole point of the
Yeah.
movie is that anyone can get sucked into like loving attention.
Yeah. No, that's fair. Oh, anything else we gotta
I think we
mention?
covered a lot.
I think we did. Yeah.
I think we that was fun. It was a great movie.
Yeah. We should
It
do more
wasn't
new
perfect, but
releases.
yeah,
Yeah.
I feel bad that some of the people weren't able to join us in the chat because they want to wait until they've
It's
seen it,
it's
which
a
I get.
quiet chat, but thank you, Craig, for hanging out here and
Yeah,
like
and Craig
we
hasn't even seen it, but he doesn't mind.
he does not mind, yeah. But yeah, check it out if you haven't. I mean, hopefully it's still playing in theaters this week and just give it a whirl and I at the very least I don't think that you'll be disappointed, but it might still be a serviceable enough movie for you, but I
Yeah.
think it's definitely like, if you like more of like the meta aspects of the Scream movies, this might be something that you would enjoy. But yeah, with that, I think that this is a good time to get to the cherry picker.
It's not like we kill people on purpose.
Okay, first order of business, we're gonna do the cherry on top here. And I know we've been kind of uh inconsistent with this, but I think that what makes the most sense and what we were just talking about is that the cherry on top is almost like immunity if this is Survivor. So it's like we're rescuing this person. They cannot be chosen for the
Mm,
vote of the cherry picker. I don't know why it's
indeed.
like, yeah,
When you put
got
it
so
that way, it
confusing.
makes a lot
Yeah.
of sense.
Yeah.
I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah. Yeah, totally. Oh, Amethyst, historically you've done cherry on top first. Yeah, but I think for a while we were doing it after. So cherry on top, I mean, I'm just gonna say it. It's Dacre.
Yep. I
Day
have Arthur, which
yeah.
is Dacre Montgomery.
Montgomery.
He is the sweetest cherry on top.
Well, the Arthur, he has a last name here. It is Spevak. Spivak? Spevek.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Wait,
Um,
Amethyst came back? That's so funny.
Amethyst came back
How does he
to
know?
remind us. He just knows. But yes, daycare,
Daycare. Free
daycare.
daycare.
So yeah,
Yes.
last week we asked you who deserved to die the most in Final Destination 5. So I nominated Peter Friedkin. You nominated Roy Carson across Patreon, Instagram, and YouTube. The final tally was 285 for Peter versus 168 for Roy.
Damn.
Yeah. Something interesting as well is that because I think it was Amethyst who was saying that the characters in Final Destination 5 had like the same last names as horror movie directors, and this movie, Barbie Ferreira's character name is Margot Romero.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Will you do now?
Margot
I don't know if they
Romero.
say the characters' last names. I'm pretty sure they said like what his
I
last name
think
was.
they did.
Yeah.
I think they did at some point. Yes, and
Yeah.
they did for him because it was on his name tag, his name badge. I know that for sure.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Okay, so let's see what people are saying about Final Destination 5. Jazzy Boo, Peter, because he became a huge asshat and very just unlikable. Blue Box, Peter, not only he's an ass, but I'm sick of these survivors blaming the lead character for everything throughout the franchise. Your lame girlfriend, Candace, body shamed Olivia and got body shamed real hard by Death in return. Also, he looks like Tom Cruise. Gross. Well, that's mean. I'm shocked neither of you picked Isaac, but I guess he was more fun to hate than these two. Isaac was
The pervert.
the pervert
Mhm.
the pervert who like inexplicably just like had this plethora of females who were calling
Yeah,
him
like had all these
yeah
girlfriends apparently, but yet everyone he interacted with hated him in the film.
yeah money
Money.
uh money. I just think of like the Will and Grace episode where Karen has like the towel on her head and she's just like
Oh
takes
yeah.
it off and like and her hair is perfect and like how did
Yes.
you money
Money.
money.
I love her so much.
Nini Pookie. Yes, Peter was unhinged, but Roy was deaf a racist. Being racist is a choice. Becoming unhinged sometimes is something that just happens due to grief.
There you go.
Yeah. I don't remember like any racism in 5, but I definitely remember the racist character in 4. He was like
That is
blatant.
true. Yeah, he was
Blatant,
blatant.
yeah. Stephanie Eileen, Mr. Maybe Mission Impossible needs to die. Sorry. I love how Tom
Uh,
Cruise is just catching all these strays here.
I love it. Tom Cruise. I know that's what I called him the entire time. I was like, no, it's
Tom
just Tom
Cruise
Cruise.
and all the wrong moves.
Yeah.
Prince David's Roy brought nothing to the table and just deserves to die anyway. Sorry, Roy, but Peter is better. Thomas Baker, both of them. Grant Dempsey, throw me a Friedkin bone here. But I voted for Roy. Jesse Raycat, I haven't watched this movie, so I will got for Zach's choice. By the way, oh, Zach is a total babe. Well, thank you.
Ooh.
Oh. Uh, Nikki, oh, it's actually in this thing. Nikki Lee T. Thank you for reading my comment last week. It's pronounced Nikki Lee T for future. I'm a big fan of the pod since the beginning. My vote this week out of these two is for Peter because one, he couldn't get his girlfriend across the bridge in the first place and is mad at Sam for getting Molly across and now is questioning why she deserves to live and wants her to die for it. And two, because he encouraged Candace to do her practice even though she wasn't ready, saying, "You got this," multiple times. A hot knockoff Tom Cruise, but with none of the right moves. Side note, Isaac's yum yum dim sum comment makes him top of my list for death. Hope his erotic massage was great. Side note, Tim. I grew up in Cranston too, and still go to the St. Mary's Feast when I can. What a small world. Thanks
That's so
again.
funny.
Yeah.
Yes. Oh my God, that's exactly what I'm talking about with the When a Stranger Calls. Yes.
Yes. Well, thank you, Nikki, for being here from the beginning and for finally commenting. If anyone's been hanging out for a while, just jump in there.
Let us know.
We'd
Comment.
love to read your comments here.
Yes.
Nicholas Wetzel. Roy is definitely awful, but Peter apparently spent an entire night trying to kill multiple people before finally settling on killing Molly. Not
Hmm.
only that, but he interrupted her special date with Sam and still tried to kill her, even after Sam offered to make him a gourmet pasta dish from scratch and taking Block's remaining years. Your loss doesn't give you an excuse to be a murderer slash
Murder.
date crasher slash ungrateful for free quality Italian food. And Denise, Peter was an annoying character who was dumb enough to consider pushing an old lady in front of a bus instead of going for a child who most likely has a longer lifespan. I love the logic there.
Like you should have gone for a
Interesting.
child.
Should have gone for a child, not an old lady. Just go to the maternity ward and
And take your
bam, right there.
pick.
There's just a whole bunch of them. Yeah. Oh my gosh, that's so dark.
That's very dark.
Very dark. So, okay, I have first pick. I will go for Nick. No, not Nick. Josh.
Ah, the
Sort of
boss.
Josh. Why did I say Nick? Is
I
there a
don't
Nick in
know.
this movie? I thought it was like first pick Nick. No, first pick Josh. 'Cause yeah, that guy just sucks. I mean, he's just a shitty employer. And it's like when she got fired, he basically was just like, well, I'm not your friend anymore. I mean, he didn't say it, but he may as well have just been like, well, we can't talk anymore. Like,
Yeah, and
it's
when she tried to bring her concerns, he was like shutting it down. So I
yeah,
get that.
I mean, the thing is, like, as far as and obviously she was being manipulative by getting those tickets so she can have access to his computer. But
Hmm.
he doesn't know that. As far as he knows, she's just got an Adderall addiction. So him like just like completely dismissing the fact that like he had this wonderful night seeing this like concert or whatever game that he loves that she was able to facilitate for him and he's just like see ya wouldn't want to be like I just like I have nothing to do with you anymore. So just kind of like that level of loyalty I really don't appreciate. So for me, it's
Okay.
gonna be that dude.
Well, I'm gonna have to go with Gabby then. And Gabby, in case you don't know who that is,
Mhm.
is Charlie XCX.
Yeah.
She had just because I think that she is painfully like just like miserable, but also like she's laughing hysterically at the videos of people
Hmm.
dying and like skulls and like scalpings and like all these things. She's like laughing like hysterically to the point where like it's like a joke video and it's like no it's not. And even if it was a joke, even if it was like guaranteed that this is not real, this is fake, this is reenacted, it's still not funny though. Like so
Yeah.
like the fact that she's laughing at it, I think you're psychotic and I think that you deserve to die the most.
And she didn't die. Neither of these two did.
Yeah.
So it's like, just for the omission of not being killed,
Yeah.
we should
So
kill them.
So you know what? Take that. Smoke it.
Yeah, so there you go. You have your options. You can either vote for Josh or Gabby. So vote your heart, vote your conscience. The poll will be available in several places. So, firstly, you can head over to Patreon, where even if you are just a free member, you can have that extra vote. There's also the poll on Instagram. Follow us at the Cherry Picker Pod. And then here on YouTube, make sure you're subscribed and the poll shows up every week. But if you would prefer to listen to the episodes rather than watch them, the RSS feed link is in the descriptions down below. Tim McKay, where can they find you on
You can
social?
find me on Instagram at Tim McKay Beauty.
And you can find me on my main YouTube channel, Zach Cherry, ZACK space CHERRY. Instagram and Letterboxd is Retro Bitch Face, all one word. And then also, if you're feeling like it, Twitter, Zach Cherry 8. And we already know what we're doing next week, but we'll just remind them again.
We are doing the 1995 classic,
Or
Fear,
six,
or
something,
Six.
one of those years.
Some from the
Yeah,
mid 90s, but we are doing
we're
Fear.
doing Fear with Marky
Yeah.
Mark and Reese
Reese,
Witherspoon. Yeah,
Reese with the
1996
spoons and stuff.
with her spoon. So yeah, join us next week for that. But otherwise, thank you for watching. Thank you for listening. And we'll be right back.